Shalom, family, shalom. Just want to begin this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai. All praises due. Today's video message I wanted to bring out. The topic of today's video, Salakia, is spiritual storm. I forgot to introduce myself again. It is your brother Isaiah coming back with another daily video of exhortation. Salakia. Man, my head's all over the place right now. Forgive me, y'all. So, want to read a passage from the book of Acts. This passage is going to go into a journey that Paul had to go on. He was held captive as a prisoner. He's sent to Rome. He's sent on a mission. Of course, it's the will of Yahushai. So he's sent on a mission by the Most High to go to Rome and preach the gospel there. And of course, along that way, there's a bumpy ride. We're gonna go into it, and let's go to Acts chapter 27, starting at verse 1. And when it was determined that we should sail into Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners unto one named Julius, a centurion of Augustus' band. And entering into a ship of Adramyttium, we launched, meaning to sail by the coast of Asia, one Aristarchus, a Macedonian of Thessalonica, being with us. And the next day we touched at Sidon, and Julius courteously entreated Paul, and gave him liberty to go unto his friends to refresh himself. So, this officer was pretty cool with Paul. Definitely wanted to keep him on that ship so he could carry out the Most High's will, of course. And when we had launched from thence, we sailed under Cyprus because the winds were contrary. And when we had sailed over the sea of Sicilia and Pamphylia, we came to Myre, a city of Lycia. And there the centurion found a ship of Alexandria sailing into Italy, and he put us therein. And when we had sailed slowly many days and scarce were come over against Sanidus, forgive me for these names, y'all, the wind not suffering us, we sailed under Crete over against Salmone, and hardly passing it, came unto a place which is called the Fair Havens, nigh whereunto was the city of Lycia. Now when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already past, Paul admonished them, and said unto them, Sirs, I perceive that this voyage will be with hurt and much damage, not only of the lading in ship, but also of our lives. So Paul has that spiritual discernment to realize, like, hey man, this ain't gonna go well if we try to make this journey. But don't matter. The scriptures say, and I'm gonna bring out a precept for it. We're gonna be tried in the fire. We as the elect are being tried in the fire right now. We got to go through that fire, and we're going to be refined as gold, pretty much. We're going to come out unscathed, man. We got to go through this captivity. We got to go through all the bullshit that we have to deal with day to day, but it's not going to affect us in the end. We're going to come out, and immortal, because we understand that this is the end, and it's time for us to be in rulership. So, hey, all praise to Yahushai, man. The scriptures also say, despise not the chastening of the Lord, for whom the Lord loveth he chasteneth. Roughly paraphrasing. Nevertheless, the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than those things which were spoken by Paul, of course. And because the haven was not commodious to winter in, the more part advised to depart thence also. if by any means they might obtain to Phoenice, and there to winter, which is an haven of Crete, and lie toward the south, west, and northwest. And when the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had obtained their purpose, loosing thence, they sailed close by Crete. But not long after there arose against it a tempest wind called Euroclydon, and when the ship was caught and could not bear up into the wind, we let her drive. And running under a certain island, which is called Claudia, we had much work to come by the boat, which when they had taken up, they used helps, ungirding the ship, and fearing lest they should fall into the quicksand, strake sail, and so were driven. And we being exceedingly tossed with the tempest, the next day they lightened the ship. And the third day we cast out with our own hands the tackling of the ship. And when neither sun nor stars in many days appeared, and no small tempest lay on us, all hope that we should be saved was then taken away. So they're really thinking like, shit, man, we should have listened to Paul. We really should have listened to Paul. 21. But after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, Sirs, ye should have hearkened unto me, and not have loosed it from Crete, and to have gained this harm and loss. And now I exhort you to be of good cheer, for there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the ship. So, he has that spiritual discernment, Most High is basically talking to him, saying like, hey, don't worry, I got you. Let's go into the next verse. For there stood by me this night the angel of the power, whose I am, and whom I serve, saying, Fear not, Paul, thou must be brought before Caesar, and lo, the power hath given thee all them that sail with thee. So Most High's like, hey, don't you fear. Everything's going to be alright. I'm just going to put you in the midst of a storm, test your faith a little bit, and hey, everybody's going to make it to shore safely. Also, I wanted to bring out this point. When the Most High sends you on a mission, man, it don't matter what you're going through. Don't matter what winds blowing, just metaphorically speaking. Whoever's trying to bring you out of this truth, man, it's not going to affect you as long as you keep that faith. As long as you keep that faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that what his word says he's going to do. And us as the elect, we are on a mission right now to bring forth, to build our nation, the kingdom of heaven. The Most High is using us. He predestined us from the beginning. From the beginning. Paul is one of them. He's reincarnated. Now, Paul is back. Paul was predestined just like all of us were. All the prophets in this book are back today. We were all predestined for this time now to build the kingdom of heaven. And our mission is, to, stay steadfast in this word and believe on the protection that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to have for us in these latter days. Through Title 50 Appendix and that spiritual power. That's the protection we're going to have from him. So, I'm just bringing out this passage to show you that we're going through a storm too. It's just not physical. It's going to turn physical, but we're not going to be caught up in it, because eventually by then, once the storm starts physically, we're going to have this incorruptible bodies. But Paul was in the flesh, in the midst of a real storm. A real storm. So, just wanted to bring this passage out to show you that, hey, no matter, our spiritual storm that we're going through right now can't affect us. It can't affect us. The physical storm that Paul was going through didn't affect him. And you're going to find out later on in this passage. Verse 25. Wherefore, sirs, be of good cheer, for I believe the power that it shall be even as it was told me. Howbeit we must be cast upon a certain island. But when the 14th night was come, As we were driven up and down in Adria, about midnight the shipmen deemed that they drew near to some country, and sounded and found it 20 fat homes. And when they had gone a little further, they sounded again and found it 15 fat homes. Which I believe I was reading the New Living Translation last night, and I believe fat homes is feet that this is going into. The Spirit just kind of hit me on that. Yeah, basically they were measuring the water to see how deep it was. Verse 29, then fearing lest we should have fallen upon rocks, they cast 4 anchors out of the stern and wished for the day. And as the shipmen were about to flee out of the ship, when they had let down the boat into the sea under color, as though they would have cast anchors out of the foreship. So basically they tried to set up lifeboats, or they were basically setting up lifeboats to get out of the ship because the storm was just so bad, rocking the boat back and forth. They really didn't think they were going to make it. Here's where Paul comes in play. Paul said to the centurion and to the soldiers, except these abide in the ship, ye cannot be saved. This goes back into I believe it's Matthew 16:25, where it says, for whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it. So, scripture confirming itself right there. Paul was saying, nah, we're going to stay right here. We're going to make sure, we get saved by the will of Yasharahla. We're going to stay in this fire. Verse 32, then the soldiers cut off the ropes of the boat and let her fall off. So the soldiers finally listened. They finally listened to Paul. And while the day was coming on, Paul besought them all to take meat, saying, this day is the 14th day that ye have tarried and continued fasting, having taken nothing. Wherefore I pray you to take some meat, for this is for your health, for there shall not an hair fall from the head of any of you. And when we had thus spoken, he took bread and gave thanks to the power and presence of them all. And when he had broken it, he began to eat. Then were they all of good cheer, and they also took some meat. And we were in all the ship 216 souls, 216 of them in the ship. And when they had eaten enough, they lightened the ship and cast out the wheat into the sea. And when it was day, they knew not the land, but they discovered a certain creek with the shore, into the which they were minded, if it were possible, to thrust in the ship. And when they had taken up the anchors, they committed themselves unto the sea, and loosed the rubber bands, and hoisted up the mainsail to the wind, and made toward shore. And falling into a place where 2 seas met, they ran the ship aground, and the forepart stuck fast, and remained unmovable, but the hinder part was broken with the violence of the waves. So the ship is completely done. It's completely done for. Verse 42, and the soldiers' counsel was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them should swim out and escape. So man, these soldiers, their focus is, hey, we gotta make sure these prisoners don't get away, man. No, y'all stay in here. But the centurion, willing to save Paul, kept them from their purpose, and commanded that they which could swim should cast themselves first into the sea and get to land, and the rest some on boards, and some on broken pieces of the ship. And so it came to pass that they escaped all safe to land. All because Paul kept that faith. All because he kept that faith. That's what we got to do now, man. No matter how bad they push this booyah, no matter, how they try to scare us into thinking that we're not going to eat, we understand that the Most High's got an answer for that. He's got an answer for that. So we know it's through the Title 50 appendix, and that spiritual power. That spiritual power is going to take faith, as well as the Title 50 appendix too. But you got to have faith to know that he's going to turn us up. He is going to turn us up. and he's shortening these days for our sake. These days are flying by, y'all. There's prophecies being fulfilled every day. We have no need to fear. Just like Paul, back then, when he was in the midst of the storm, he didn't fear, and he escaped safely. You know? Let's go to Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. We are founded upon that rock. Like I said, we are in a spiritual storm right now. We got people trying to come up against us, against this word, you know. Tell us that what we believe in is bullshit. Well, we know what they believe in this world is bullshit. You know, you got Won't Do It's trying to come against you, man. This storm is about to pass for us. This spiritual storm is about to pass, and we're about to make it to shore safely. You know, this is why I brought out this passage, because it shows you, you know, the power of Yasharahla, and if, you know, he sends us on a journey, even though we're going to go through a storm, we're going to make it out to the other side just fine, you know. And we understand that he sifts those out who don't have that faith to continue in that storm. That's why we go through what we go through. You know, our captivity, hey, it's pretty much up, but we're still under this system, but we're about to be free. All praises. Let's go to book of Hebrews. Oh, Salak, I went too far. Yeah, this is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We don't see the spiritual power yet. We just believe it. We believe it's going to happen. You know, we don't see the Title 50 yet, but we believe we're going to get it. You know, all we got to do is hold on to that faith. Because verse 6 says, but without faith, Hebrews 11 and 6, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the power must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. We are diligently seeking him through this word, praying to him, fasting, you know, meditating on his word. That's how we're diligently seeking him each and every single day. We have nothing to fear, y'all. Nothing to fear. Let's get some more precepts. Let's go to uh, 18th Psalms. 18th Psalms, verse 2. Psalms 18:2. The Lord is my rock and my fortress, and my deliverer, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation, in my high tower. That's what Yahweh Yasharahla is for us. You know, we gotta greatly rejoice in that. You know, greatly rejoice that he chose us. He could have chose anybody else, but he chose us. Make sure I'm bringing out all the precepts. Okay, yeah. This is from the Apocrypha. Said if y'all ain't got one, y'all need to get one. Let's go to book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the power is your God. Verse 75 again. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the power is your God. He is our God. We have nothing to fear, y'all. Absolutely nothing to fear in these latter days. But, yeah, just wanted to bring out that passage for you guys, just to show y'all, Paul held on to that faith, man, and, he knew he was on a mission to go preach to Rome back then, and he just had to go through a little storm, so the Most High would try his faith a little bit, but he held on, and everybody made it safe. Everybody made it safe. So that's us, the elect. We're going to make it safe, through this spiritual storm that's still ongoing. We're going to still have people that talk shit, try to come against this truth, but we ain't got nothing to fear. Oh, I wanted to bring out one more scripture, y'all. One more scripture. It's just hit me. Hold on. Let's go to the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. Or verse 11. Let's start at verse 11. Ephesians 6 and 11. Put on the whole armor of the power, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's the spiritual storm that we got to go through right now. But it's all finna pass. All finna pass for us. That storm is gonna overtake the 2/3, all these morning Dewitt's, all these Edomites, Ammonites, Moabites, all these other nations, man, they're gonna be caught up in this physical storm of this great tribulation. It's gonna kick off real time. We're close, y'all. Stay encouraged. Stay in this word. Meditate on this word. Fast, y'all. Test yourself. Try to build yourself spiritually, man. We are so close to that time of being in rulership. I know y'all can fast at least one day, 24 hours. I know we got Tuesdays and Thursdays that we're fasting in the body, but try it. It's really not that bad, man. The Most High shortening the days. It's not even going to feel like 24 hours. I promise. I just did it. I'm going to do it again next week, and I'm probably going to do it on schedule this time. So, Lord willing, you guys are edified. Just want to end this video by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Mashiach, Yahushua. All praises due. I'll see you on the next video. Shalom.